Hey guys, and welcome to week 35 of my pregnancy update. I am very windswept. I've been in the forest with Otto and we also went swimming this morning, so my hair today is wonderful. I'm just cooking some dinner. We are having homemade chips, veggies and fish. So that is going to be our dinner. I can show you once it's cooked. But I thought I haven't actually started this video this week, and I thought I would give you an update as I'm doing things at the same time, so it's not just me yappering. Been feeling pretty good this week actually. Let me face the light so you can actually see me. A little bit tired, but I've been having really good naps, which is really necessary. Actually, Otto slept in this morning till like 8:30 nearly. I think it was like 8:15. He's normally on the dot 7. So I had like an extra hour and 15 minutes in bed and it was lovely. I woke up and I was like, oh my god, he's still asleep. But I was still really tired when he went down for a nap, so I went down for a nap and I think I slept for about an hour then as well. So I'm having to nap a lot because I am feeling tired, but I feel good. Like I'm not like so tired, but I do feel like I need those naps. Baby has been moving around a lot. He was moving around loads in the swimming pool. He seems to really like the swimming pool. Like when I go swimming, he's like, and he always comes out like here, like right here, which is just seems mad that he can be like right over here. I feel like he's gonna come up my back, and like a lot here, of course. So I feel like he's taking up a lot of room. I've got my like festive jumper on again. Running out of clothes that are really fitting me, so recycle. But I've been feeling good. I had my first therapy session yesterday for like anxiety for birth and stuff like that, which was interesting as well, just to talk about anything basically that might be making me feel any anxiety, and that's going to be sort of for the next few weeks and also maybe after the birth if I need that. So that was good. It's good just to talk to someone that's like, you don't know. Just talk to them, because you know they don't take it back home or take it personally or anything like that. So everything is really good. We have decided to probably go for the C-section, and I have told the hospital that as well, so that's going to be booked in for week 39, because they do that on the week 39, and then if baby comes before that, then we can write a plan up for if I decide to have a normal sort of birth, a VBAC. But I think that's where we can kind of standing, and it's just easier for us so we can get family over to help and so on and so forth. So that is the update so far. I was asked in a comment on a few weeks ago video about whether I could do like any embarrassing symptoms that I'm having, and I'm gonna go look some up because I don't really know if I got any, but I might do that a bit later in this, like in the week, and just see. I don't know if my pregnancies are quite boring, I find, apart from this time with the heartburn and the slight hip pain and the tiredness. I don't get very much, which obviously is really lucky and I should be very appreciative of that. But I'm going to look up some symptoms that people might think are a bit TMI and see if I can share any, but on the top of my head I can't think of any. But yeah, I'm going to cook dinner now and I will show you it once it's done. And dinner is served. Yum. So I just put Otto to bed. It is nearly 8 o'clock. He went to bed far too late, and he went far to bed late yesterday as well, but we've just been having, he just loves playing now, so it's really hard to get him to go to sleep. But not like to go to sleep, just like the routine just takes longer. But we were discussing his brother, and that his brother would be coming into the world soon, and I was like, you know, he'll be here soon, and it's going to be quite hard, I think, for you to adjust, which is absolutely fine. Like, I love talking to Otto about things so that he is prepared, so that he knows that something's going to change and what that change is going to be, and, you know, that he may find that difficult, and that's absolutely fine. And I was just sort of explaining to him, like, you can play with him when he gets older, but when he's small you can give him lots of kisses and cuddles, but it will be quite difficult for him. And he went, and he went, well, maybe, and he sort of stopped and went, no baby. That was his conclusion to our discussion about it might being a little bit hard to adjust to having another sibling. It was the way he went, maybe, no baby. So I found that very amusing. I told him that unfortunately there's no going back now, so the baby is coming. But that was quite a funny little moment. But yeah, I've been feeling so tired today actually, and in the afternoon I was having some sort of cramping, not like contractions, just uncomfortableness. So that was a bit unpleasant. So in the end we came home and I put the telly on for Otto, and I just sat there for a bit watching cartoons because I just needed that little bit of rest, and then I felt better. Sometimes I think you just have to stop, even though, you know, you don't really want to, because I don't really want Otto to watch too much telly, but I was just like, I have to sit down and I have to rest. So that is what I did, and I felt better for it, so that's really, really good. And yeah, I'm just gonna go and do all the cleaning now, as I normally do in the evenings. And yeah, I still haven't done any sort of symptoms. I need to look some up still. But I'm feeling quite good, really gassy. But not like gassy as in like farting, but like gassing as in like my tummy. I don't know if it's like acid reflux or just heartburn, but it's like very bubbly. And then it goes into my mouth and it's very uncomfortable. So I've been taking lots and lots of Rennies, but they don't really do much. And then I've also not been able to sleep on my left hand side, which is the side you're supposed to sleep on when you're pregnant, because who knows, apparently safer. I haven't been able to, because it's actually waking me up in the night, because I feel like I'm very close to that camera. Waking me up in the night with heartburn if I lay on my left side. Like, it actually wakes me up. It's that painful. I feel like my heart's dying. And yeah, so I have to sleep on my right side, and I'm all about getting sleep, so that's what I've been doing. And I do try to sleep as much as I can on my left, and actually the problem is I always try to fall asleep on my left. I always wake up on my right, so can't really do much about that. But we do our best, but yes, it's all sort of getting close now, definitely dawning on me, and the concerns of having a second child is obviously very normal, but is definitely weighing on me. Just that change, changing routine, how are we going to do that? You know, the worry of Otto, how he's gonna cope, leaving him, obviously, when I'm in hospital. I have never left him, and I know that's probably quite bad, but Corona and everything like that has literally given us no option. Not that I really wanted an option, but he goes to nursery, so I've left him at nursery, but I've never not been with him for like part of the day. So like, I'm always there in the morning, pretty much always there in the evening. I think my husband's put him to bed a few times when I had like Swedish lessons, but otherwise it's always been me, and I'm going to have to leave him for like 2 days, and that is probably weighing on me quite a lot more than it will upset Otto. But never left him, so not sure about that. I was like, I was speaking to my therapist about it, and she said that like, how are you feeling about it? And I was like, well, actually I'd much prefer if I could do both. Like give birth and then also look after Otto at the same time, but obviously that's not possible. Yeah, but as the time gets closer to the day, it makes me quite nervous because I don't know, just don't want to leave him, basically. Don't want to leave him. But I'm pretty sure he'd be a bit bored if I took him to hospital with me. Just laying there, I'm recovering, but yeah, those are my thoughts at the moment, but otherwise I'm pretty good. My hip was hurting this morning, but then I went swimming and it feels much better now. So as I said before, I think swimming does actually help my hips, so that's good. And yeah, I will keep you updated. Hey guys, so it's like the end of week 35 and I haven't feel like I filmed anything this week. Maybe it's different when I go to edit, but I actually don't think I have. What did I do today? I popped into IKEA. I feel like I live in IKEA at the moment. Just picking up things, like every week I seem to pick up like something small. But basically I wanted to protect the floor because we live in a rental. I just put Otto to bed and he scratched me. It's really sore. So I bought like a very cheap rug to go underneath the bassinet for our bed. So I picked up this one just here. I think it's quite nice actually. It was £20, I think. It's got like quite a nice pattern to it. Very simple, and it's going to go where that trunk skirt is. That's going to be moved. So that's going to be next to the bed. But I just wanted something to protect the floor because I feel like this wood is a bit scratchy and I didn't want to scratch the floor. So there we go. Cora is living her best life. Cora, what are you doing, darling? Living your best life, darling. Yeah. Oh, is it comfy on the woolly blankie? Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's what I did this morning, and then I've just had dinner and everything like that, and I actually feel like quite heartburny, so I've taken a Rennie. I might take another one actually, pop it in my mouth. Literally living off Rennies at the moment. And I was wondering, I'm interested because in week 37 I've got another scan to see what position baby's in. I had one in week 32, and he was head down, and I wonder, because I didn't have any heartburn or anything with Otto, and I'm wondering if that is because Otto was breached the entire time. Undiagnosed breach, but still breach nevertheless. So I never had any discomfort up here, because I assumed he was always kicking sort of down low. His head was just here. But this time there's a lot of movement up here and on the side, and into my ribs. So I wonder if that's the difference. Is that because this baby is actually head down and not breech? Why I'm having all these different symptoms. Just a thought. But yeah, that is that. I'm going to read off my app and tell you what baby is doing this week, or has done, in regards to like whether they are getting bigger. They're always getting bigger, developing wise and that sort of thing. So week 35, your baby is 46.2 centimeters and weighs 2,383 grams, which is about 5.2 pounds. Otto, when he was born at, well, he was born at 39 weeks and 6 days. He came one day early from his due date. He was only 47 centimeters, so I take this with like a serious pinch of salt because obviously each baby is different, but average babies are 46.2 centimeters. What does it say? The average birth weight of a full-time twin, which is 37 weeks or later, compared to 39 40 weeks for singleton, is around 5.5 pounds each. So if you're having twins, you're obviously going to have smaller babies because there's probably no room to grow. However, one baby often weighs more than the other. From now until birth, your baby will gain approximately 1/2 pound per week. A lot of this weight is important brown fat to keep your little one warm for the first few weeks after birth. This brown fat is different from white fat. Brown fat contains more cells that produce body heat, and this in turn prevents hypothermia. The brown fat appears on the baby's upper spine, back and shoulders, so that's interesting. Your body obviously by this stage may be a little bit uncomfortable, like myself, but as getting ready for birth, your cervix may have begun to dilate already. Bloody show is a blood-tinged mucus that may appear on your underwear, and the sign of your cervix getting prepared for labour by dilating, thinning or moving forward. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're about to go into labour, but it is better to be prepared. You'll be feeling a sensation of kicking in the ribs if your baby is lying head down in your uterus, which is a good indication. Keep in mind that your weight you are gaining is mostly of the baby, and you will lose this after birth. If colostrum, baby's first milk, hasn't been leaking from your breast already, be prepared for it now. Pelvic floor exercises will help keep your pelvic floor muscles strong and keep recovery faster after delivery. So just hold in your wee muscle as much as possible. I taught Pilates for a long time before I moved to Sweden, and I feel like I got quite a good pelvic floor because of that. But I'm always like holding it in anyway, just to sort of try and keep my muscles as strong as possible. And I haven't had any issues with my pelvic floor. I didn't have any issues after Otto either, but I don't know if that's because I had a C-section and not a vaginal birth, because I think that obviously if you're pushing everything out, that probably has more of an effect. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but I feel like I've got quite a good pelvic floor. So there we go. It says health tips. Don't be too concerned of leaking milk from your breasts. It says you also may leak urine. Keep those pelvic floor muscles. When your baby shifts onto your bladder, even though you may not be planning for one type of delivery, it's good to educate yourself on methods as well as including a cesarean birth, which I think I discussed a few weeks ago. Is just like looking into so many different options this time that may come into effect, even though I am going to be scheduling the C-section. I want to be prepared if I go into birth, sort of labour early, that I could maybe have a VBAC and the different options that I have in particular of that. So like positions, pain relief, you know, just loads of different sort of things to discuss, making sure I'm aware of like what is considered right, and you know, just knowing your rights, I guess. As I said before, look at the Naked Doula on Instagram. She's full of lots of really helpful information, so I've been trying to do that as much as possible. Perineal massage, is that what it's called? Gonna start probably doing that soon, just in case I go into labour early and it does turn into like a VBAC, to try and eliminate any tearing, and also just breathing, like learning about breathing techniques and keeping a relaxed face and hands in birth, really important apparently. Just really things like that that I've been looking at that you probably just wouldn't think about. As I said before, all on the Naked Doula on Instagram. So that is this week, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'll show you my bump. There we go, let's have a look. Oh, I should have a proper look at it. It's getting bigger. I feel like I'm about the same size as I was last time actually now. So there we go. I don't have huge babies. That's one of my concerns of a C-section, is I don't have huge babies. They're not, I mean, Otto was 6 pounds 6, so he's not like super small, but he's not big, if that makes sense. So my only concern about the C-section is that because they obviously take your baby out like a week early from like your due date, a week or so early, or more. I don't want him to be too small, but I have a doctor's appointment next week, which I will update you next week on, and I can discuss that with him there. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, do subscribe, and I'll see you next week.